Welcome to the Shadow of History channel. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out more videos like this one. New York, 1929. Industrialist John D. Rockefeller hands a 5-cent coin to a young child. This famous gesture was his signature way of sharing wealth and teaching the value of a single nickel. New York, 1942. This final portrait captures a frail Nikola Tesla in his hotel room. The brilliant inventor who once envisioned wireless power spent his last days in quiet solitude before passing away. United States, 1943. Three young friends pose for a final photograph before heading to the front lines. Their youthful smiles hide the uncertain future and the heavy burden of duty during World War II. Rome, 1983. Pope John Paul II sits in a prison cell to forgive Mehmet Ali Agca. 2 years after being shot, the pontiff offers grace to the man who nearly ended his life. Florida, 1937. Migrant family from Tennessee camps near a fruit packing house during the Great Depression. Their makeshift home reflects the desperate struggle for survival and work across the American South's dusty fields. Washington, D.C., 1963. Jackie Kennedy stands in stoic grief during her husband's funeral procession. Her poise amidst national tragedy became an enduring symbol of strength and grace for a mourning country after Dallas. Washington, D.C., 1864. Abraham Lincoln sits with his youngest son, Tad, sharing a rare, quiet moment. Sadly, the boy who brought joy to the wartime White House would pass away at only 18. Marion, Indiana, 1958. Bright lights and festive shoppers fill the snowy streets during the height of the post-war boom. It is a classic slice of Americana, capturing the mid-century joy of Christmas. Madrid, 1986. Soviet giant Arvydas Sabonis dominates the court during the World Cup final. His legendary skill and massive presence helped define an era of international basketball before he joined the American NBA. Ohio, 1932. Workers scale massive ladders to assemble the frame of the USS Macon airship. This engineering marvel would launch a year later, only to meet a tragic end in the Pacific Ocean. North Korea, 1980s. A rare photograph captures a large tumor on Kim Il-sung's neck. State media strictly prohibited such angles, hiding the leader's physical vulnerability from the public for many decades. California, 1938. This unique home was carved directly into a massive ancient redwood tree. Whether built by a genius or a giant, the structure stands as a testament to incredible human craftsmanship. New York, 1902. The iconic Flatiron Building nears completion, slicing through the city skyline like a massive stone ship. This architectural marvel redefined urban design and became an instant symbol of modern Manhattan. Missouri, 1939. An evicted sharecropper family gathers in a temporary roadside camp. Their meager belongings are piled high, illustrating the harsh reality of rural poverty during the collapse of the plantation system. Hollywood, 1947. Orson Welles transforms into Macbeth, bringing Shakespeare's tragic king to life. His haunting performance and stark visual style redefined the classic play for a new generation of cinema goers and artists. United States, 1967. Robert F. Kennedy enjoys a casual game of football. Just months before his presidential run, the candid moment captures the energy and charisma of a man who inspired millions. Utah, 1889. Polygamous prisoners stand behind the bars of Sugar House Prison. These men were incarcerated for their religious practices, marking a turbulent era of legal and social conflict in the American West. Pennsylvania, 1910s. A massive baseball player weighing over 200 kilograms prepares for a game in Emporium. His incredible size made him a local legend and a formidable presence on the diamond. Moscow, 1999. On New Year's Eve, Boris Yeltsin officially resigns and hands the keys of the Kremlin to Vladimir Putin. This pivotal moment marked the beginning of a new era for modern Russia. Chicago, 1930s. A massive crowd fills the stadium, eagerly awaiting the start of a professional hockey game. Despite the Great Depression, sports remained a vital escape for the hard-working citizens of the city. Germany, 1910. Julius Neubronner's carrier pigeons take flight wearing miniature cameras. These feathered photographers captured the world's first aerial surveillance images, blending nature with early technology in a truly ingenious way. Fuzhou, China, 1912. A bride travels to her wedding ceremony, captured in a rare moment of cultural transition. The photograph preserves the traditional attire and customs of a changing early 20th century China. Mexico, 1969. Clint Eastwood shares a quiet moment with an armadillo. On the set of his latest Western, between intense scenes, the Hollywood star found humor and companionship with the local wildlife. Leningrad, 1937. Young pioneers wear gas masks during a civil defense drill in the Soviet Union. The haunting image reflects the growing anxiety and preparations for war that gripped the entire nation. Hollywood, 2022. We remember Bob Saget, the beloved comedian and father figure of television, from raunchy stand-up to wholesome sitcoms. His career brought laughter and warmth to audiences for over 4 decades. Chicago, 1933. Workers clean a massive 80-foot Studebaker model at the World's Fair painted bright yellow. This giant wooden car was a centerpiece of the exhibition celebrating American industrial spirit and scale. France, 1938. Inventor J. Lehatre demonstrates his tractor cycle, a tracked motorcycle built for rough terrain, though it struggled. With speed, its unique design aimed to conquer steep hills that traditional bikes couldn't. Finland, 1962. A woman relaxes in a portable sauna designed for tight living spaces. This clever invention brought the traditional Finnish spa experience to travelers, proving that luxury can fit into any suitcase. Norway, 1920s. 2 men trek through the deep snow of Sunnfjord on skis with hunting rifles in hand. This image captures the rugged lifestyle and traditional winter survival skills of the Norwegian highlands. United States, 1929. Workers wave from a massive tower of confiscated alcohol barrels during the height of Prohibition. These liquid assets were destined for the flames as the government fought its war. Madras, India, 1948. Intricate carvings and grand architecture. To find this historic building in the heart of the city, the photograph captures the enduring beauty of Indian craftsmanship during the first year of independence. New York, 1960. Massive crowds gather outside the theater for the premiere of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Audiences were both terrified and thrilled by the film that would forever change the horror genre. New York, 1944. Thousands of Christmas packages sit in a postal warehouse marked for soldiers who will never return. Each box represents a heartbroken family and the heavy toll of the war. Detroit, 1942. An auto graveyard overflows with discarded cars as the nation shifts to wartime production. These rusted relics of the 30s were often scrapped to provide much-needed metal for the military. United States. 1950. Children sit on Santa's lap, their faces filled with a mix of wonder and nerves. These vintage snapshots capture the timeless tradition of holiday wishes through the changing decades. Vietnam, 1967. A young boy shines the boots of an American soldier on a busy street. The image serves as a poignant reminder of the daily interactions between civilians and military forces. Russia, 1904. The mysterious Rasputin poses with high-ranking military officials. His growing influence within the inner circles of the Tsar's court would eventually spark controversy and contribute to the empire's dramatic fall. New York, 1948. Times Square glows at dusk as theater signs flicker to life. The bustling energy of the city is captured in this iconic view, showcasing Manhattan's transition into a neon wonderland. Rome, 1948. A young boy, blinded and limbless from the war, learns to read using his lips. This heartbreaking image illustrates the resilience of the human spirit amidst the devastating aftermath of conflict. Germany, 1871. A 12-year-old Kaiser Wilhelm poses in his military uniform. This early portrait of the future emperor reveals the rigid tradition and military discipline that would eventually shape the destiny of Europe. England, 1920. The Wolseley-Vickers wheel and track car undergoes testing. This experimental hybrid vehicle was designed to traverse both paved roads and rugged battlefields, catching the eye of military commanders looking for versatility. United States, 1944. Native American code talkers used their ancestral languages to transmit secret messages. Their unbreakable codes provided vital security for the Marine Corps, saving countless lives across the rugged Pacific front. Normandy, 1944. American soldiers offer comfort to a sobbing girl and her puppy shortly after the invasion amidst the chaos of the liberation. This small act of kindness highlights the enduring human connection. Colorado, 1899. Nikola Tesla sits calmly in his laboratory while massive bolts of artificial lightning dance above him. This legendary photograph showcases his bold experiments with high-voltage electricity and his visionary genius. London, 1933. Engineers perform a dramatic tilt test on a double-decker bus to ensure safety by leaning the vehicle at extreme angles. They proved these towering icons were stable enough for the city's busy streets. United States, 1931. A young girl works alongside her family to harvest potatoes during the Great Depression. This image captures the harsh reality of childhood labor as families struggle to put food on the table. United States, 1990s. A vintage price guide predicts the future fortune of Beanie Babies. While many expected these plush toys to become retirement funds, the bubble eventually burst, leaving behind a colorful lesson in speculation. New York, 1970. The Twin Towers of the World Trade Center rise above Manhattan during their early construction. This massive engineering project redefined the city's skyline, creating a global symbol of American economic power. New York, 1981. A grainy photograph captures the gritty atmosphere of the city's subway system. Covered in graffiti and filled with tension, the underground reflected the urban decay and vibrant energy of the era. Soviet Union, 1970. Cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova presents a commemorative badge to Neil Armstrong. This rare moment of camaraderie between space rivals highlighted a shared human curiosity during the height of the tense Cold War. New York, 1942. Printers carefully assemble the sports section of the New York Times in an era before digital media. These skilled workers used lead type and massive presses to deliver news to millions. United States, 1891. The original patent for toilet paper clearly illustrates the roll hanging in the over position. This historical document finally settles the long-standing domestic debate with technical proof from the inventor. England, 1932. J.A. Purvis drives his Dynasphere, a giant spherical automobile that looks like a massive tire. Despite its futuristic design and smooth ride, the bizarre vehicle never gained traction in the market. Iwo Jima, 1945. Thousands of white headstones mark the graves of American Marines on this volcanic island established just weeks after the battle. This somber cemetery honors those who fell in the Pacific's bloodiest. New York, 1985. A teenage Mike Tyson prepares for his professional debut alongside mentor Cus D'Amato. The young powerhouse would win by knockout in the first round, beginning his legendary journey to the heavyweight title. Netherlands' 1900 men pose in traditional voluminous Dutch trousers known as klapbroek. This unique regional attire reflects the rich maritime heritage and distinct cultural identity found in the coastal villages of the early 20th century. Detroit, 1900. A magnificent ice fountain towers over Washington Boulevard during a deep freeze formed by continuous running water. These glistening sculptures sometimes reached 60 feet, creating a dazzling winter spectacle for the city. Germany, 1927. Actress Brigitte Helm takes a break from the heavy metal suit on the set of Metropolis. This candid moment captures the physical toll of creating one of cinema's greatest science fiction masterpieces. Florida, 1962. Anti-aircraft rockets stand ready on the beaches of Key West, aimed toward the horizon during the Cuban Missile Crisis. The world watched in fear as the Cold War reached a breaking point. Sweden, 1916. Marit Olsdotter stands outside her traditional home in the forests of Värmland. This portrait preserves the quiet rural life of the Swedish countryside before modern technology transformed the ancient landscape forever. France, 1917. Rare color photographs reveal the daily lives of French Marines amidst the rubble of World War I. These vivid images bring the grit and devastation of the Great War into startlingly clear focus. Atlantic Ocean, 1941. The crew of the HMS Hood gathers for a final group portrait. Days later, the pride of the British Navy would be sunk by the Bismarck, leaving only 3 survivors. United States, 1896. Henry Ford poses proudly with his first automobile, the quadricycle. This simple machine, built in a small workshop, laid the foundation for an industrial empire that would eventually put the world on wheels. Austria, 1917. At 79 years old, Gaspar Wallnofer remains on duty during the World War I. A veteran of campaigns dating back to 1848, he stands as a living testament to centuries of European conflict. Mississippi, 1913. A young boy stares into the camera while working a long shift at a cotton mill. This haunting image helped fuel the movement to end child labor and protect American children. Memphis, 1956. Johnny Cash shares a sweet moment with his young daughter Roseanne at the zoo. Behind the man in black persona was a devoted father enjoying a rare day off from fame. Norway, 1960. Snowy streets and vintage cars define this quiet winter scene in the Arctic city of Tromsø. The photograph captures the peaceful, remote atmosphere of northern life during the mid-20th century. Mississippi, 1911. 5-year-old Manuel stands among piles of oyster shells at a canning company, having worked for a year without speaking English. His story highlighted the exploitation of immigrant children in American industry. Norway, 1907. A group of Skolt Sami people navigate the cold waters. Near Kirkenes, in a traditional boat, this photograph documents the indigenous culture and resilience of the people living in the high north. Finland, 1950s. 3 Skolt Sami men work together to wrangle a reindeer in the snowy wilderness. This traditional practice remains a vital part of their cultural heritage and survival in the Arctic landscape. New York, 1964. The Verrazzano Narrows Bridge stretches across the water. During its final stages of construction, upon its opening, it became the longest suspension bridge in the world, connecting Staten Island to Brooklyn. Washington, D.C., 1988. Joe Biden addresses the press to officially withdraw from his first presidential campaign. This pivotal moment in his long political career followed a series of controversies that stalled his early ambitions. Minnesota, 1915. Chief John Smith, known as White Wolf, sits for a portrait at an incredible age, rumored to be over 100 years old. His weathered face tells the story of a changing nation. Poland, 1944. 4-year-old Istvan Reiner smiles brightly for a portrait, unaware of his fate. Shortly after this photo was taken, he was executed at Auschwitz, a heartbreaking symbol of the Holocaust's youngest victims. Arizona, 1851. Olive Oatman was captured and raised by the Mojave tribe after her family was killed. The traditional blue tattoo on her chin remained a permanent mark of her remarkable and tragic journey. South Dakota, 1920s. This rare view shows Mount Rushmore as a natural granite peak. Before the faces of presidents were carved, it captures the raw beauty of the Black Hills before human intervention began. California, 1976. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak show off the Apple I, a handmade circuit board that launched a revolution from a humble garage. They began the journey that would change the world forever. South Dakota, 1876. Muddy streets and wooden storefronts define the lawless town of Deadwood during the Gold Rush. This was the era of Wild Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane, where fortunes were made and lost. Zaire, 1974. Muhammad Ali trains intensely for the rumble in the jungle. This powerful photograph captures the focus and determination of the champion before his historic victory over George Foreman in the heat. Australia, 1980s. A young Hugh Jackman poses for a classic school photo long before he became a global superstar. The bright smile hints at the charisma that would eventually lead him to Hollywood fame. Cuba, 1950. Ernest Hemingway stands on the deck of his yacht, the Pilar. The legendary author spent his days fishing the Gulf Stream, finding inspiration for his greatest works in the deep blue. Chicago, 1992. Barack and Michelle Obama share a joyful dance on their wedding day. This intimate moment captures the beginning of a partnership that would eventually lead them to the heights of global leadership. Madagascar, 1900. This striking portrait features a Sakalava woman adorned in traditional jewelry and intricate hairstyling. The image provides a rare glimpse into the rich cultural beauty of the island at the century's turn. Kansas, 1958. Two brothers open a small pizza shop in a brick building in Wichita. With a borrowed $500, they founded Pizza Hut, creating what would become a global fast food empire. Chile, 1973. President Salvador Allende is seen with General Augusto Pinochet just weeks after this photograph was taken. Pinochet would lead a violent military coup, forever changing the course of the nation's history. Iran, 1943. Roosevelt and Stalin joined Winston Churchill to celebrate his birthday during the Tehran conference. Behind the festive scene, the Big Three were planning the final strategies to win the Second World War. Soviet Union, 1980. Ethnographer Yuri Norozov poses with his beloved cat. This brilliant scholar is credited with deciphering the ancient Mayan script, unlocking the secrets of a lost civilization from his office in Leningrad. California, 1960. Workers at Yosemite National Park fly the American flag upside down. This universal signal of distress was used to protest working conditions, marking a moment of tension in the pristine wilderness. United States 1789 5 presidents, including Thomas Jefferson and Teddy Roosevelt, broke tradition by not using a Bible for their inauguration. These moments highlight the diverse personal beliefs and historical nuances of American leadership. England 1800. These wavy crinkle-crankle fences are more than just a visual delight. By using a single layer of brick supported by curves, they actually require fewer materials than a standard straight wall. Vietnam 1966. A young soldier poses for a final photo before losing his life in June of that year. This moving portrait remains a cherished memory for a family whose father never returned. United States 1899. A massive stump is labeled as the last giant silicon tree, while modern science identifies these as geological formations. The image captures the late Victorian fascination with Earth's ancient mysterious past. England 1962. Gardeners scale massive ladders to trim the world's tallest yew hedge planted in 1720. This towering wall of green requires precision and bravery to maintain its historic and perfectly manicured shape. British Columbia 1916. The fishing boat New England sits heavily in the water, completely encased in thick white ice. This chilling image captures the brutal and freezing conditions faced by North Pacific maritime workers. Mexico 1910. President Porfirio Diaz stands beside the massive Aztec sunstone. This photograph bridges the gap between the nation's ancient indigenous roots and the political landscape of the early 20th century Mexican Republic. Boston 1860 photographer James Wallace Black captures the world's oldest surviving aerial image from a hot air balloon floating 2,000 feet up. He provided a perspective of the city never seen before. Portland 1931. Construction workers take a precarious break high atop the cables of the St. John's Bridge. Their relaxed poses at dizzying heights showcase the grit required to build Oregon's iconic steel suspension marvel. United States 1917. A young soldier shares a tender final embrace with his mother before departing for the battlefields of Europe. This intimate moment captures the quiet heartbreak felt by millions during World War I. Southampton 1912. The RMS Titanic pulls away from the pier to begin its ill-fated maiden voyage. This rare photograph captures the massive ship in its final days of glory before the Atlantic tragedy. Rome 1944. An Italian woman curiously inspects the kilt of a Scottish soldier near the Colosseum. This light-hearted encounter followed the city's liberation, showing a brief moment of cultural wonder amidst the war. Japan 1959. Skilled women worked the assembly lines at a Canon factory, meticulously crafting precision cameras. This image documents the vital role of female workers in driving Japan's rapid post-war industrial and technological boom. Ontario 1892. Two massive steam engines sit locked together following a head-on collision. The twisted metal and steam illustrate the dangers of early rail travel and the immense power of 19th century industrial machinery. South Dakota 1899. Conquering Bear, an Oglala Lakota leader gazes into the lens. This powerful portrait preserves the dignity and resilience of a legendary figure during a period of immense change for indigenous peoples. London 1929. Two women beam with pride just minutes after casting their ballots. This photograph celebrates the Yaita hard-won victory for equal voting rights, marking a transformative moment in the history of British democracy. United States 1923. A stylish couple glides through the city on an autoped, an early motorized scooter. This quirky invention offered a glimpse into the future of urban mobility long before modern electric transit. Los Angeles, 1981. Muhammad Ali leans out a ninth-floor window to talk a suicidal man down to safety. The legendary champion proved his greatness outside the ring, using compassion to save a life. England, 1980. Director Stanley Kubrick famously demanded over 100 retakes for a single scene in The Shining. His relentless pursuit of perfection pushed the actors to their limits to create cinematic history. Soviet Union, 1963. Valentina Tereshkova prepares for her historic flight aboard Vostok 6. As the first woman in space, she shattered barriers and became an enduring symbol of courage and scientific achievement worldwide. United States, 1994. Bill Gates sits atop a massive stack of paper to demonstrate the storage capacity of a single CD-ROM. This iconic image perfectly illustrated the dawn of the digital information age. Scotland, 1900. Residents pose outside their stone cottages on the remote island of St. Kilda. These hardy people lived in total isolation until the entire population was finally evacuated to the mainland. Colorado, 1910. A group of children and their puppy pose on a porch in a dusty coal camp. This candid snapshot captures the humble childhoods and tight-knit communities of the western mining frontier. Middle East, 1918. Thomas Edward Lawrence, known as Lawrence of Arabia, stands in traditional robes. This colorized image brings the legendary figure of the Great Arab Revolt into vivid striking and modern detail. England, 1850. A veteran of the Napoleonic Wars poses with his wife decades after the Battle of Waterloo. This rare photograph connects the early era of photography with the legendary age of empires. England, 1907. A grandmother in Cornwall sits quietly mending her grandson's shorts. This simple domestic scene captures the everyday labor and familial love that defined rural life at the turn of the century. United States, 1895. Three women pose with a bicycle, a machine that offered them newfound freedom and mobility. The safety bicycle was a key tool in the early movement for women's social independence. United States, 1950. A young Grace Kelly appears in a nurse's uniform for a live television drama long before becoming a princess. She was a hard-working actress honing her craft in Hollywood. England, 1920. Illustrator Louis Wain sits surrounded by his whimsical cat. Drawings, his unique and colorful art helped transform the public's perception of cats from simple mousers into beloved and playful household companions. Monaco, 1956. Grace Kelly poses with her elegant Weimaraner, a thoughtful wedding gift from her brother. The photograph captures the Hollywood star transitioning into her new life as the serene Princess of Monaco. Los Angeles, 1902. Horse-drawn carriages and early pedestrians move along the unpaved streets of a young city. This image captures the quiet small-town atmosphere of a place that would soon become Hollywood. Norway, 1896. Theodore Kittleson's haunting illustration, The Plague on the Stairs, captures a dark folk legend. The chilling image reflects the deep historical fears and superstitions that once gripped the Nordic countryside. Boston, 1909. A young boy expertly balances a basket of fresh vegetables for sale. This street scene documents the vital role of young vendors in the bustling immigrant markets of early 20th century America. London, 1921. Dapper gentlemen and vintage buses fill the busy streets near Piccadilly Circus. the bustling energy and elegant fashion capture the spirit of a city recovering from the shadows of war. United States, 1941. This unique Packard open-top tour bus was designed for sightseeing in style, with 8 doors and luxury seating. It offered travelers a premium view of the nation's most scenic landscapes. Prague, 1987. A fluffy Siberian bear cub named Dasha peeks out of her transport crate after a flight from Russia. This adorable moment captured the hearts of the public during a diplomatic visit. New Mexico, 1940. A farmer's daughter carefully slices a pie during a community birthday celebration. This vibrant photograph documents the resilient spirit and social warmth of rural life during the late Great Depression. Colorado, 1915. A 12-year-old boy works in the fields topping sugar beets under the summer sun. This image was part of a series documenting child labor, leading to essential protections for American youth. United States, 1882. Inventor Charles Aldrich demonstrates his innovative large-wheel tricycle. This mechanical curiosity was part of a wave of experimental transportation designs that sought to replace traditional horse-drawn travel for good. Florida, 1903. Early automotive enthusiasts gather on the flat sands of Daytona Beach for a high-speed race. These early competitions laid the groundwork for what would eventually become the world-famous Daytona International Speedway. Rome, 1960. Abebe Bikila of Ethiopia stuns the world by winning the Olympic marathon while running completely barefoot. His historic victory made him the first sub-Saharan African to ever win an Olympic gold medal. Washington, D.C., 1985. Princess Diana glides across the White House floor with John Travolta. This enchanting moment captured the world's imagination, blending British royalty with Hollywood glamour during a historic gala dinner. Wales, 1921. 15-year-old Harold Jones displays a gold watch gifted by neighbors following his acquittal for murder. The celebration was tragically premature as the unrepentant youth killed another young girl just weeks later. California, 1968. Senator Robert F. Kennedy stands atop his car to address a surging crowd. This vibrant image captures the energy of his presidential bid shortly before his life was cut short. Saigon, 1975. Operation Baby Lift begins as military planes carry over 3,000 Vietnamese orphans to new homes abroad. This massive humanitarian effort marked a bittersweet chapter during the chaotic final days of the war. California, 1945. Norma Jean Doherty inspects a drone propeller at a munitions factory. This wartime job led to her discovery by a photographer launching the legendary career of the woman known as Marilyn Monroe. New York, 1958. The majestic Niagara Falls roars under a winter sky. This classic view captures the power and scale of the natural wonder long before modern developments altered the surrounding. Tourist landscape. Sydney, 2009. A massive red dust storm blankets the city in an eerie Martian glow. High winds carried outback soil over the coast, bringing the metropolis to a standstill in a surreal atmospheric event. Australia, 1975. The members of AC/DC pose for a local Sears catalog. This rare promotional image shows the legendary rock band in a surprisingly domestic commercial setting before they achieved global heavy metal superstardom. New York City, 1933. A Hooverville shantytown fills a dry reservoir in Central Park. These makeshift homes housed thousands of desperate citizens during the Great Depression, serving as a stark symbol of economic hardship. Vietnam, 1966. Gunnery Sergeant Jeremiah Purdy is helped by fellow Marines during a brutal firefight. Photographer Larry Burroughs captured this raw image of sacrifice before he was later killed in a helicopter crash in Laos. Ireland, 1913, an Irish girl poses in traditional rural clothing for a rare autochrome color photograph. This early color technology beautifully preserves the vibrant textures and heritage of a vanishing way of life. Los Angeles, 1937. A lone woman pickets against immigration raids in a bold display of protest. Her solitary stand highlights the long history of civil rights activism and the struggle for migrant justice in America. America, 1879. Benjamin Oppenheimer patents a fire escape device featuring a parachute hat and padded shoes designed for jumping from burning buildings. The eccentric invention remains a fascinating example of 19th century safety. Ingenuity. America, 1918. A family wears protective masks for a formal portrait during the Spanish flu pandemic. This somber image reflects a global era of fear and the universal effort to survive a devastating respiratory illness. Los Angeles, 1991. Linda Hamilton stands with her identical twin sister Leslie at the Terminator 2 premiere. Leslie served as a double in the film, helping create the groundbreaking visual effects that define the sequel. Brazil, 2019. A mother wins the FIFA Best Fan Award for narrating entire football matches to her blind son. Her dedicated play-by-play commentary allowed him to experience the magic of the game through her voice. Illinois, 1992. Michelle and Barack Obama smile on their wedding day. This intimate portrait captures the future. President and First Lady at the beginning of a partnership that would eventually lead to the White House. Cambodia, 1200. The ancient city of Angkor thrives with a population of 1 million people. Its sophisticated water management system and massive temples made it the largest pre-industrial urban center in human history. Los Angeles, 1989. Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz pose with their infant daughter, Zoe. This candid family photo captures the stylish couple during the early years of their influential careers in music and film. London, 1963. A man inserts a sixpence coin into a pay television slot. This early subscription model allowed viewers to purchase an hour of entertainment long before the era of digital streaming and monthly billing. New York, 1984. Bill Murray and his son Homer visit the set of Ghostbusters, joined by Dan Aykroyd. This behind-the-scenes moment captures a rare look at the comedian's personal life during his professional peak. New York, 1908. A Russian immigrant cradles her remarkably large 11-month-old baby. At Ellis Island, photographer August Sherman documented the diverse faces of millions who arrived in America seeking a better life and opportunity. Jalisco, 1940. A woman performs a severe penance with a crown of thorns and cactus pads. This intense image by Enrique Diaz documents the deep intersection of religious faith, sacrifice, and traditional Mexican identity. Los Angeles, 1980s. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn visit Ronald Reagan in the King's locker room. This meeting of Hollywood stars and the sitting president highlights the cultural intersections of 80s politics and sports. Los Angeles 2014 satellite images reveal a dramatic shift in the city's night glow as streetlights transition to LED. The upgrade saved energy and drastically reduced light pollution across the sprawling California metropolis. Oregon, 1985. The young cast of The Goonies poses together during production. This beloved adventure film captured the spirit of childhood friendship and became a definitive cinematic touchstone for the entire 80s generation. Los Angeles 1990s, corrupt officer Rafael Perez is photographed during his booking. His involvement in the Rampart scandal and alleged criminal ties inspired the gritty realism of the film training day and its characters. Arizona 2024, a petrified tree trunk displays vibrant mineral colors after 225 million years. Once part of a lush prehistoric forest, the wood has turned into solid stone through a slow, natural chemical transformation. Egypt 1300 BC, ancient stonemasons achieved perfect geometric precision in the construction of royal monuments. These massive structures demonstrate an incredible level of engineering and craftsmanship that has endured for thousands of years. New York 1970, a young Bill Nye participates in his 9th grade science class long before he became the science guy. Nye was already cultivating the curiosity and passion that would educate millions of children. Georgia 2017, 6 inmates choose to save an unconscious deputy. Instead of escaping their quick thinking and call for help, earned them a pizza party and formal recommendations for their reduced prison sentences. America 1973. A vintage McDonald's menu displays a 12-cent hamburger and a 20-cent Big Mac. This snapshot of fast food history shows the incredibly low prices that helped the Golden Arches dominate the industry. Korea 1931. Princess Deoki poses with her husband, the Lord of Tsushima, as the last princess of the Korean Empire. Her life was marked by political tragedy and a forced exile that lasted decades. Los Angeles 1960, John F. Kennedy huddles with his brother Robert in a hotel suite. This private moment captures the intense strategic collaboration between the two brothers during their historic run for the presidency. Berlin 1961. A father lifts his young son to see over the newly constructed Berlin Wall. This poignant image captures the heartbreaking separation of families and the stark division of a city under occupation. California 1941. A Chinese-American worker wears a sign clarifying his heritage to avoid harassment following the attack on Pearl Harbor. Many immigrants used such measures to distinguish themselves from the wartime enemy. America 1942. A stylish couple poses for a formal portrait in their finest attire, shot on Agfa safety film. This image preserves the elegance and dignified fashion of Black Americans during the mid-century era. New York, 1966. A young Sigourney Weaver is photographed during her high school years, long before becoming a legendary sci-fi icon. The future actress was already showing the poise that would define her career. Georgia 1945. Chief Petty Officer Graham Jackson weeps while playing the accordion as FDR's funeral train departs. This emotional photograph became a powerful symbol of a nation's collective grief for their fallen leader. Europe 1600s. A doctor dons a beak-like mask and heavy leather robes to treat plague victims. This terrifying ensemble was designed to protect the physician from miasma, believed to carry the deadly Black Death. In this rare and intimate photograph, renowned physicist Albert Einstein sits beside his younger sister, Maya. The image highlights the undeniable and striking physical resemblance shared between the two siblings during a quiet moment together. Jazz legend Ella Fitzgerald was arrested in 1955 after bravely performing for an integrated audience. Her courageous action directly challenged the strict racial segregation laws of that era, marking a significant moment in civil rights history. Two Native American women grace the cover of an Arizona magazine from the 1970s. They proudly showcase their traditional cultural attire and rich heritage, serving as a powerful visual representation of indigenous beauty and identity. John Calment, officially recognized as the longest-lived verified person in recorded history, smiles for the camera. This incredible photograph captures her enduring spirit at the astounding age of 120 years, a testament to human longevity.